Okay, my coupling system is going to start right here. Okay, so I've got my hoses. I'm going to check my hoses. This is my emergency line. This is my service line. Okay, I'm checking my hoses for abrasions, bubbles, and cuts. There's no leaks and they are secured at both ends. I'm going to check my glad hands. Glad hands are not bent, broken, or cracked. Properly mounted and secured. They have a good rubber seal inside. Okay, and the seal is not damaged or torn, and there should be no leaks. Now, this glad hand right here is the tractor glad hand, and this glad hand right here is for the trailer. Okay. So you're basically checking two glad hands here and two glad hands here. Okay, I'm going to check my electric cable. It's not cut or ripped or frayed. There's no exposed wires. And I'll check it at both ends and make sure that it is securely plugged in and locked in place with a safety latch. Okay. Also want to make sure that the electric cable and the hoses are elevated off the catwalk. They're not rubbing on the catwalk. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do my apron, which is right here. The apron is not bent, broken, or cracked. It's properly mounted, secure. It's going to be welded to the bottom of the trailer here, so we're going to check the integrity of the weld to make sure it's not damaged. Okay, the top of my fifth wheel right here is called my skid plate. So I'm going to make sure the skid plate is not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no illegal welds, and it should be properly greased. Okay, I'm going to make sure also that the skid plate is attached to the platform with bolt and pin. Okay. Also, I'm going to make sure that between the apron and the skid plate, there's no gap. Okay. My platform is not bent, broken, or cracked. That's right here. Okay, it's not bent, broken, or cracked. It is properly mounted, secured to the frame of the truck with all the mounting bolts, and none of them are loose or missing. Okay. Then I'm going to check my release arm, which is located right here. The release arm is not bent, broken, or cracked, and it should be in the locked or engaged position. When it is, I'll go up the back of the fifth wheel. I go underneath and look up the back of the fifth wheel, and I want to make sure that my locking jaws are securely locked around the shank of the kingpin and they're not cracked, bent, or broken. Okay, the kingpin is not bent, broken, or cracked. It's properly mounted and secured, and I'm going to check to make sure the shank of the kingpin, the skinny part of it, is not worn or damaged. There is one more thing on the coupling that I want to show you. It's on the test, but it wasn't put in the book. And the reason it wasn't put in the book is because these two trucks used to be our testing trucks. And these trucks don't have the slider pins, okay? But the slider pins is in there. We used to just give that as a free point because these didn't have them. But now that the trucks that we have do have slider pins, we're going to talk about it. So let's go over there and let's go. Okay, so here are my slider pins. You see these holes right here?
Yeah.
These two pins are sticking out. Okay, these are my slider pins. Okay, they're controlled by a switch inside the truck. Okay, so they have to be in the engaged or locked position.
Okay.
Okay. Also, when the slider pins are connected, we want to make sure that we have a proper amount of space in between the splash guard and the landing gear so that this doesn't hit this when you're making turns. Okay, so it can be it can be affected by where those locking pins are set. Okay, so that's my coupling system. What time is it?